it play and call it work.
Hey everybody, Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, and welcome to the first episode, or first video, or one of the first videos of our brand new battle report style. I need your feedback on this because we are trying something totally new to improve the quality of our battle reports while trying to retain the fun and entertaining style that we had. So we're going to be doing a lot of new things in this video, and I want you to leave comments below. Constructive criticism would be appreciated of things that you liked and things that you didn't like about this new format. Today, I'm going to be playing a game against none other than Phil from the Glacial Geek, and we're going to be playing Dark Angels versus Tyranids. Just a 1,000-point game, something simple, so we can try out the new style of editing and filming. So let's just jump right in and take a look at the armies. Keeping it simple for today's battle report, I am bringing a battalion, 1,000 points of Tyranids. And I decided to try a bunch of different things because I wanted to bring some of the fun upgrades from the Blood of Baal. I'm really enjoying that new book. And so just running down the list really quickly, for my HQ choices I have a Broodlord. And the Broodlord I gave Resonance Barbs to. And that is a new bio artifact from Blood of Baal that gives him +1 to a psychic test and lets him cast an additional psychic power, which is pretty cool. Got a Neurothrope as well, because he's a cheap HQ choice, also because he helps buff the Zoanthropes that we're going to see pretty soon. Into my troop choices, I've got 2 big units of 20 HORMAGAUNTS with Scything Talons, obviously. And because I realized what I brought for my army, I have a lot of Scything Talons in it, I decided to go for the custom Hive Fleet adaptations from the Blood of Baal. The first one being Biometallic Cysts, which give all Scything Talons +1 AP. Now I'm not sure if this is supposed to mean monster Scything Talons and massive Scything Talons, because I do have some Carnifexes with that. So we're just going to ignore them. It's not a big deal because they already have a pretty good armor penetration. Hoping that an FAQ or an errata will clarify that. And also going with the High Fleet adaptation of Pack Hunter, which is if you outnumber the whatever unit you're attacking, you get an additional AP, which means these Hormagaunts can have AP -2 against smaller units. Then moving on, we have a big squad of 15 Genestealers who will be hanging out with the Broodlord. Same thing, their Scything Talons will be that much extra useful, won't always have to rely on their Rending Claws. Then in our elite section, we've got some Zoanthropes, just triple Zoanthropes, and they're going to hang out with the Neurothrope to get that little extra buff to their psychic, re-rolling 1s for their psychic tests. And then I'm actually going to bring some Tyranid Shrikes. I don't bring these very often, so I thought it would be kind of cool here. A little extra Synapse. They've got Scything Talons too, so if they have to fight, they actually have a little bit of AP. And they've got their Death Spitters and one with a Venom Cannon just for some extra range attacks. And then lastly, in my heavy support slots, I've got 2 separate units of 1 Carnifex each. And the fun part here is I was able to do the Adaptive Physiology instead of a Warlord trait. And I had spent a command point to do it twice, and I gave both the Carnifexes monstrous size, which lets me choose one of their weapons, and they only have 1 weapon technically, which is their monstrous Scything Talons, and give it +1 strength, AP, and damage. So they're going to be extra nasty, which I'm looking forward to see how they work out.
So for the Dark Angels, I'll be running a battalion detachment. Leading off that detachment, we have a Librarian with a Force Sword. I then have a Lieutenant with a Chainsword and Bolt Pistol. I then have a Master, which is the Dark Angels version of a Captain. He will have a Chainsword, Bolt Pistol, and Mastercrafted Bolter. He will be my Warlord. He will have the Master Strategist Warlord trait and the Shroud of Heroes relic. I then have an 8-man squad of Reavers. They have Grav Shoots and heavy bolt pistols and combat knives. I then have 2 5-man squads of Intercessors. They are armed with bolt rifles. We have a 5-man tactical squad. One of those guys has a Melta. We have a Venerable Dreadnought with an assault cannon and an underslung heavy flamer. And we have a Razorback with a twin assault cannon. And last but not least, we have a 3-man squad of Inceptors with assault bolters. So when you go bug hunting, you know that you're going to need something to handle some of them big bugs, and you're going to need something to handle a whole bunch of them little bugs. And hopefully my list can handle both of them.
Rolling for our scenario today, we're playing Lockdown, an Eternal War mission from Chapter Approved 2019. This one has 6 objective markers on the table, but you don't know what numbers are on each of them yet. Before the game begins, which we haven't done yet, we are going to go back and forth and determine the numbers that go on each of them. So they'll each get a number from 1 to 6. Now, starting in the second round, the objectives are going to disappear according to what round it is. So in battle round 2, objective marker 2 will disappear, and 3 will disappear, 4 will disappear, so on and so forth. However, objectives 1 and 6 never disappear. There are a few ways to score points here. The first one is at the end of your turn, you get a point for every objective marker you control by having the most models within 3 inches of it. At the end of each battle round, the player who controls the most objective markers gets an extra point. And then we have the usual Slay the Warlord, First Strike, and Line Breaker. Rolling for our deployment, we're using the dreaded Vanguard. And I will be the attacker as the Tyranids, and Phil will be the defender, so he has already chosen his deployment zone in the woods. Being the attacker, I get to deploy first, which means I don't really have any information from my opponent, but let's face it, there's some standard things that I can do here. Starting off in the one flank, I've got my Zoanthropes and the Neurothrope, and their job is pretty straightforward. Float on forward and smite a and maybe some extra psychic powers as well. And then in the middle, we've got my big blob of GENESTEALERS with the BROODLORD, who will be accompanying them. And right behind them, as a second wave, will be a squad of HORMAGAUNTS. And right beside them, a humongous Carnifex. Don't forget, it's got an extra strength, damage, and AP on its weapons. And then on the other flank, so I've got a Carnifex with some HORMAGAUNTS, and babysitting them with Synapse will be the unit of 3 Shrikes. So we have Synapse in all 3 parts of my army. Nothing in reserve.
Deployment for the Dark Angels. I got to deploy second, so I knew where Matt had deployed his army first. So I started out in the middle with my Razorback. Inside of there is my 5-man tactical squad and my Master. Behind it, I have the Librarian and the Lieutenant. To either side, I have an Intercessor squad, each of them stretched back to hold the objective while still getting most of the guns into a far 30-inch range. I need to hold those objectives to score points, so they're going to be important to stay back there. Then on the far flank, I have my Venerable Dreadnought. He's going to go wade in and try to kill a bunch of bugs and maybe grab some objectives from the middle. If not, he should be able to distract them enough to allow the rest of my squads to get where they need to be. Speaking of, I have my Reavers and my Inceptors in Deep Strike. This will allow me to figure out where I need them to be, dropping down on the objectives that I need to score.
I am the attacker, so I get to choose who goes first, and I'm going to choose me. Would you like to try to seize the initiative, Phil?
Yeah, obviously. Here we go. Dancing Matthew! No.
Ah, not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Well, I get ×3 on my seize rolls. That's the Dark Angel rule.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
Grim Resolve,
×3.
right?
Yeah.
Grimmer Resolve.
Grimmer Resolve, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So, ×3. Oh.
Now, before the first turn begins, Phil and I are going to determine the numbers of the objectives, and the number tells you when that objective will disappear, except for 1 and 6, which never disappear. Going first, I get to choose the first one, the one that is number 1, and then Phil will choose which one will be number 6, and then we'll go back and forth choosing which one we'll randomly roll for to see what number it is. I will choose this one to be number 1. Coincidentally, it's already number 1. Phil, which one's number 6?
It's going to be over here, which also, coincidentally, happens to be number 6.
Wow. It is actually coincidental.
We didn't plan that.
We are going to start swapping them off camera.
Yeah, we're not that
Those
smart.
actually were coincidentally the numbers.
We're not actually that smart. No.
Kind of hard to wrap my mind around the strategy of why I care which one I choose next, as is random. I know, like, oh, 5 is still available, but I'll just choose this one. It's going to be number, not 6. Oh, come on, let's not do this. 2. Up. Philly, which one?
I'm going to choose this one for the exact reason that you said. Number 5 is still available.
Now, let's just roll a D3. It's 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't have to re-roll. So that is 4.
Cool.
Ta-da. I'll choose this middle one. We only have 5 and 3 left over, so on a 4 plus, it'll be a 5. Oh, that's a 5. That makes the other one automatically a 3, which is way in there. Phil's up to the challenge. We ready? You ready?
Yes.
Here we go. 1,
Boom.
2,
Ha-boom.
3,
Ha-boom.
4,
Ha-boom.
5,
Ha-boom.
and 6.
Boom.
Oh, yeah!
Boom.
My first movement phase, I have to concentrate on just moving forward. Knowing none of his reserves can come in yet, I can focus on grabbing objectives and getting ahead as far as I can in points. Because as much as I outnumber him, I know he outguns me when it comes to shooting. So, pretty straightforward movement. My Zoanthropes and Neurothropes advanced up. Unfortunately, didn't roll very well, so they didn't get very far. The GENESTEALERS and the BROODLORD then advanced forward up the middle. Not close enough to charge, and they're probably going to die now, but if I keep them back, they'll die anyways. And they grab an objective. The Carnifex also moves up and grabs an objective, as well as the HORMAGAUNT squad moves forward, advancing, grabbing an objective. Actually, it's keeping an objective that it was already next to, and it just daisy chains on back. And then the other HORMAGAUNTs advance forward, wrap around the big tree and grab an objective. Carnifex then comes up behind it, so those Hormagaunts will act as a nice screen for it. And lastly, the Shrikes had enough movement to get up to get in shooting range of the Dreadnought, but I really don't want them to get charged first turn, so I kept them back a bit. The Venom Cannon's still in range, so they'll still be able to fire and do something useful against something. But really, my army is not about shooting, that's just a little extra support. In the Psychic phase, we are limited on range, but our Broodlord is in range to cast the Horror. The Horror allows me to choose an enemy unit and give them -1 to their hit rolls and to their leadership. I need a 6, and I get +1, and so I got an 11. And he is going to cast it on the Razorback to make those assault cannons a little less effective. Whoops!
Oh no, I broke my mama.
Ah. Next up, we have Smite from the Zoanthropes, because their Smite is 24 inches, which will be the closest to the Razorback. We need a 5 for this. Rerolling 1s because of the Neurothrope. D3 mortal wounds. 1! Woo! And unfortunately, nothing else is in range to cast their psychic powers. Only one thing to shoot with. We got a Shrike with a Venom Cannon firing over at the unit of the Intercessors. D3 shots. 2. 4 is to hit. 1 hit. Nice high strength on these, so 8 versus 4, so they'll be wounding on 2s. Yeah!
AP -2, looking for a 5-up. Yeah, he good.
End of turn, I'm controlling 4 objectives. Number 3, number 1, number 5, and number 2, which will disappear next battle round. With no first strike or anything, that brings the score to 4-0 for the Tyranids.
Dark Angel's movement phase here on turn 1. I start out by moving my Dreadnought up towards the objective and his front line of troops. I'm hoping to get some shots in and then charge. I then disembark the units that are inside of my Razorback, moving my tactical squad, and then moving my master up behind him. I then actually move the Razorback up there, jumping onto the objective. I know I'm not a troop choice, but maybe if I can shoot enough of those Genestealers off, I can get the objective. I then advance my Lieutenant and my Librarian. My Lieutenant didn't quite move as far as the Librarian, but I got them where I needed to be. And then my 2 Intercessor squads stayed back on the objectives to score me points. First things first, my Librarian in the Psychic phase is going to cast Smite into your Genestealer cult. Looking for a 6 because of Shadow in the Warp. Getting 6.
Ooh, we got it. All of my Psychers are in range to deny, so this should be easier. So he didn't actually get a 6, he got a 5. So I need a 6 or higher. And I got a 9. Denying the Smite!
Next, he's going to cast Trephination. It'll be on the Genestealers there. They are the closest visible unit. If it goes off, I roll 2d6, adding 2 if it's 10 or more. And every point over their leadership, they take a mortal wound. Looking for an 8 since it's 7 minus 1. Nope, not going to go off.
That's a 5.
My Intercessors are going to start us off in the shooting phase, shooting into the Genestealers. 10 shots hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s from Grim Resolve. Strength 4, Toughness 4, looking for 4s to wound. Rerolling 1 because of the Lieutenant. That's a wound.
3 more. I don't care about your AP. I'm just going to dodge it with my 5-up invuln. Booyah! Oh, wow. I actually did. Only 1 dies. Ah, you're dead.
Now, the other Intercessor squad is going to be doing the same thing, shooting into the Genestealers. Hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s because of Grim Resolve. Also needing 4s to hit. Wound. Wound.
Wound.
Wound. Wound.
Ah, only 2.
Yeah.
No Lieutenant to save you there. Dodgeroni, 5-up invulns. Nope. One of them just doesn't get the memo. It's him. He's looking the wrong way.
That's what he gets. Now my Razorback is going to fire into the Genestealers.
Do you have a fear of Genestealers, Phil?
Yeah.
A little phobia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know how their cults work, so I know how they work. They got pointy fingers. They're going to be hitting on 5s because it is -1 from the Horror and -1 from moving with a heavy weapon. But I do get to reroll 1s because the Master's in range.
Master's watching.
Master.
Dude, that's still pretty good.
I know. I'll take that. Even better.
Yeah, you knocked one over, so you got 4 hits.
Okay. Strength 6, Toughness 4, looking for 3s to wound.
Oh, Lieutenant's there too. Reroll it. Oh my goodness. There is a reason I cast the Horror on it. So we need 5-up invulns again. Dodgeroni. Oh my goodness. Triple dancing Matthew. Again, the guy looking the wrong way. Just feel like I should remove him.
I just want to kill 1 per squad. I feel like that seems like a good average.
That's what you should be doing.
We're playing this game for 500 rounds, right?
This Titan kills 1.
Yeah, 500 rounds.
This guy with the bolt pistol kills 1.
Boom. Yeah, boom.
Yeah.
Tactical squad is now going to fire into the Genestealers. Only 3 guys with bolters can see and are in range. Hitting on 3s.
The Master's
Rerolling
watching.
once because the
The
Master.
Master's watching.
No, he didn't care. Wounding on 4s as well.
Oh,
2 wounds,
look
I'll
at
take
that.
that. There you go.
Each squad gets to kill one, right?
1 each. So you have to
One
make one
each.
of these saves.
5
One
up
save.
invuln.
1 save.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Marines for the win.
MVP Tactical Marines.
Why even bother bringing intercessors
Good
or
question.
assault cannons?
Or anything. So now my Dreadnought is going to fire his Heavy Flamer into the Hormagaunts and his Assault Cannon into the Hormagaunts. Heavy Flamer first, D6 auto hits.
Yikes.
4 hits. Strength 5, Toughness 3, looking for 3s to wound.
Well,
Getting 3 wounds.
That's 3 dead Hormagaunts. The ones from the back rush forward to take this place of the ones that die in the front.
And then the Assault Cannon is going to be hitting on 3s because he moved with a heavy weapon.
Ooh.
Strength 6, Toughness 3, looking for 2s to wound.
You could do it. You could do it.
Boom,
Oh, 4
AP minus
more.
1.
Ah.
I should have just brought all Vendreads, apparently. They're the only ones that can do anything.
No, just tactical Marines.
Just Tactical Marines. Tactical Marines and Venerable Dreadnoughts.
You're thinking too
That's
hard.
it.
Just tactical Marines.
So we're going to have 1 charge with my Dreadnought charging into the Hormagaunts.
No Overwatch.
Venerable Dreadnought's now looking for a 7-inch charge to get in. If I can get an 8, I can actually get onto the objective, though, so we'll see what I can get here. No, or a 3. Yeah. I'm going to just stay where I'm at.
Sure,
that was
sure you
a
don't want to
eight.
reroll?
No, I'm pretty good.
Just turn the 1 into a 5.
Yeah, I know. That's all I would need.
Ooh, saucy feels
Yes,
saucy.
saucy. All right, at the end of my turn, I score 2 objectives, scoring objective number 6 and objective number 4 back over here, getting me 2 points. And then at the end of the battle round, you hold more objectives, so you get an additional point there, making it 5-2.
The start of battle round 2, objective number 2 disappears. I'm actually happy which one was number 2 because it was my back line, and I didn't want to have to babysit it with any units. I didn't have any throwaway units for it. It also means when his Inceptors and Reavers show up, it's 1 less objective to grab on the outside of all of my units. Zoanthropes and Neurothrope moved up as well. Sorry, floated gently forward ominously with their smiles on their faces, getting ready to both smite and also to actually probably charge the Razorback. Hilariously, the Zoanthropes are actually AP -1 against it because they outnumber it, and that's my hive adaptation. But more importantly, they can soak up the Overwatch with their 3-up invulns and then tie it up and make sure it doesn't get away sooner than it should. Then we have the Carnifex deciding to go across the table, heading towards the Razorback as well. And then the Hormagaunts, as well as the other Carnifex, are shifting over. So the Hormagaunts got out of the way of the Carnifex, and then it moved pretty much directly towards the Dreadnought. And finally, we have the Shrikes, who just flew forward. I could have been a lot more aggressive with them, but they need to hold on to an objective and continue to provide synapse to my other flank of Hormagaunts in the Carnifex, who will hopefully be removing the Dreadnought from play before all of Phil's reinforcements come in, because let's not discount the Inceptor's crazy amount of strength 5 -1 shots. I don't think they'll be just removing 1 model at a time like the rest of his units have been. Into the psychic phase, we'll start with my Broodlord, who can cast 2 powers thanks to his bio artifact. We're going to start with the Horror onto the tactical squad. I will need a 6 for this, but I get +1. Boop, that's a 10.
I'm not going to deny that. There's too much smite coming that I'm going to have to try to handle.
Smite number 1. Need a 5, get +1. Oh, I got a 6. Woo.
I'm going to try to deny that. I'm looking for a 6 on the dice because I got +1 because of Psychic Hood. And I deny it.
You did it! These Zoanthropes are actually going to cast Catalyst onto my Genestealers. They need a 6, re-rolling 1s. Wow! I'll just keep it, whatever. Neurothrope will attempt Smite. I need a 6 now because my second attempt at Smite. Re-rolling 1s. Wow, that's very familiar.
That does look familiar.
Yeah. Let's go straight to the Psychic Scream. Same thing, basically, as Smite. Ah, except I actually made it with a 10. A D3 mortal wounds. Booyah.
Oof.
3.
Making him down to 6.
Big long shot with my Venom Cannon all the way to these Intercessors. And then just for fun, 2 Death Spitters into your Dreadnought. Venom Cannon, D3 shots. 2 shots. 4s to hit. 1 hit. Strength 8, toughness 4. Booyah. Oh, yeah, okay.
AP -2, 5-up save.
Oh, there we are. D3 damage, looking for that sweet, sweet 2+. Yep, we got it.
Boom. Ah!
Strength 5, toughness 7. Oh, got one.
AP -1, so looking for a 4-up save. No, that's going to go through, but he has a 6-up ignoring wounds, venerable. Nope, he takes it. Down to 7.
Charging Zoanthropes are going to float ominously towards the Razorback, forcing it to fire. Well, it doesn't have to fire Overwatch if it doesn't want to.
I'm probably going to do
All right, Zoanthropes!
Hit on 6s.
Wow!
Getting 2 hits.
So
and
impressive.
No rerolls. 3s to wound. Getting 2 wounds.
But the power of the hive mind protects. 3-up invuln.
You
Well,
were
kind of.
saying? Takes 1.
I got one. I need a 4-inch charge. Booyah!
Hurt.
Carnifex will charge on into the Razorback. I want my Razorback. 4 might do it. I got +1.
Yeah, you should be.
He had adrenal gland, so +1. I think 4 was in anyways, but 5 is definitely in. He has a living battering ram. When he charges on a 4+, he does 1 mortal wound. 1 mortal wound.
Taking him down to 5.
My Genestealers will declare a charge, a multi-charge, into your Intercessors, as well as your Librarian and Lieutenant.
So the Intercessors are going to shoot their Overwatch on 6s. Rerolling those 1s. Getting 2 hits. 4s to wound. Getting no wounds. And then 2 crack grenades from them into the Genestealers there. Getting no hits.
Come on, big money on the charge. 5. 5 is fine. We're going to come over here. What we're going to make sure we don't do is engage the or the tacticals, because I did not declare them. And I don't want them anyways. We'll take care of them later. My Broodlord will declare the Razorback, the Librarian, and the Lieutenant, and the Intercessors as its charge target. Everybody within 12 inches that can't overwatch me. And I'll charge 12 inches. Can anybody say overkill? Hello. Hormagaunts will charge the Razorback. Not that the Carnifex needs help, but why not? We're just going to pile in a bunch of these. We'll have the Carnifex soak up the Overwatch of the Dreadnought and hopefully survive it.
Heavy Flamer first. 4 hits. 5 to wound. 1 wound.
-1 AP, so 4-up save. Oh, look at that.
And the Assault Cannon on 6s. Ooh,
Ooh.
getting 3 hits.
Ooh.
Strike 6, tough 7, looking for 5s. Getting 1 wound.
-1 AP again, so 4-up. Boom. Charging, get +1 for adrenal glands. Yeah, 10 is in. We'll come to the side. And then living battering ram. 4+ mortal wound. Nah. The Hormagaunts want in on the party too, so they'll charge. Go, Hormagaunts, go. Oh, 4 inches. They just want a little bit of the party. So I'm going to chain them to keep that objective. I know it's going to disappear next round, but I might as well get the point now.
And I'm actually going to heroically intervene with my master over here.
Knowing that my opponent has lots of command points, we're going to start with my Carnifex because I'm afraid that his Dreadnought will destroy it. 4 base attacks. He's got Tusks, which gives him +1 attack on the charge, and he's got 2 sets of massive Scything Talons, which gives him an extra attack. Hitting on 3s because he charged, rerolling 1s because they're Scything Talons. No, because I upgraded my Carnifexes, they are strength 7, so we'll need 4s to wound. Yeah. Because of the monstrous upgrade, the AP is actually -4, ignoring his armor, and the damage is 4 each. That's 12 damage.
So 12 ignoring wounds because he's venerable. Can I get all the Dancy Matthews?
You need 6 of them. Yeah,
no, I can get 0.
Wow.
0. Woo! 0. Blowing up out of 6. No,
not even there.
Not even that. Can't even get him 1 there. So that's 13 dice in a row. No 6s.
Goodbye. Consolidate. Bulp.
I'm going to spend 2 CP to interrupt with my Librarian. He's going to attack into his Broodlord. He'll have 4 attacks because of Shock Assault. Hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s because of the Master. Into 4 hits.
Ooh.
Wounding on 5s. There we go. I'll take that with 2 wounds.
I'm going to need my 5-up invuln against this. Now, these are D3 damage
D3
each,
damage
right? So
each.
these are technically enough to kill him.
Yes.
5 up. Yeah, they could kill him.
Come on. D3. No. He
That's
takes
good, though.
4. That's not bad.
Brings him down to 2. Obviously, my Genestealers have to go next because he still has enough command points to keep interrupting me thanks to the stratagems from the big rule book. So, Genestealers. And yet, he can only use 1 of the same stratagem per phase, so I'm actually safe. So it's not so obvious anymore. So we've got 10 guys left, so we're going to have 8 of them go onto the Intercessors and 2 go onto the Lieutenant. Interesting thought for the weapon choice, I have Scything Talons and Rending Claws. Now, normally Rending Claws are -1 and Scything Talons are AP 0. And Scything Talons reroll 1s to hit, but Rending Claws, if you roll a 6 to wound, they become AP -4. But now, because of the High Fleet adaptations I took, Scything Talons are -1 AP as well, so they're both -1. In addition, the other High Fleet adaptation, since I'm outnumbering him, I get an additional AP. So both my Scything Talons and my Rending Claws are -2 AP. So the question is, do I want to reroll 1s to hit, or do I want 6s to wound to be AP -4? Normally I'd say the extra AP, but now since that's only going from -2 AP to -4 instead of 0 to -4, it's not as big a difference. So I'm going to use the Scything Talons. Into the Lieutenant first, 4 attacks each, because there's at least 10 of them, because Phil just couldn't kill that last guy. Hitting on 2s because the Broodlord gives him +1 to hit. Rerolling 1s. Oh, I'm liking my choices so far. So far, so good. Okay, got 1 extra. If I roll a bunch of 1s here, or 6s, I'm going to regret it. 4s to wound. Oh, look at that.
There we go.
Yeah, all right.
The right call. AP -2, looking for 5-up saves. Cool.
Dude!
Dude!
Dude! He has 4 wounds!
Cool.
And then 32 attacks into the Intercessors, hitting on 2s. Rerolling 1s. Okay, 1 miss. And 4s to wound. Well, there's a good amount of 6s that would have been good.
AP -2, so 5-up saves. Cool.
Yeah,
I think
they're all
they're
dead.
pretty much dead. Yep, they are wiped over here. Bye-bye.
We'll consolidate, because why not? Carnifex will pile on into the Razorback. 6 attacks, just like the other Carnifex, hitting on 3s. On the charge, rerolling 1s. Only 4. Strength 7 with the adaptive biology. Toughness 7. 4s to wound. Oh, just 2. I say that casually, then realize my AP's -4, which ignores his armor, and they do through 4 damage, and he has 5 wounds left, so the Razorback is destroyed.
Only 2. Can I blow him up at a 6? No, I can't.
Alright, consolidate. Hormagaunts charge, so I can still pile in. They pile in 6 inches and consolidate 6 inches. So I'm going to actually use that to just stick them right in the middle of everything up here. But we're still going to chain them back to hold on to this objective in the middle. And then my Broodlord is going to try to eat your Librarian.
I do have to warn you, he is tough and bitter, like any good Dark Angel. Not a great choice for a meal.
Very sinewy.
Yeah.
Hitting on 2s with his monstrous Rending Claws. Oh boy. 3s to wound, re-rolling. 6s are nasty. There's 1 nasty. Then just a bunch of nasties.
Oof.
So the 6 is -6 AP. Good golly, I don't know why
Yeah.
you'd ever need -6 to get through something. 3 damage.
Yeah, so I have a -6 save on that one.
Yep. And then we've got -3 at D3 damage each.
Okay, so these are looking for 6-up saves.
Yeah, he's dead.
I got 0.
Yeah.
0 Dancing Matthews. 0 Dancing Matthews. Yeah, he did. I'm going to spend 2 CP for only in Death Does Duty End, allowing my Librarian to fight back before he's removed from the table there. So 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. Getting to reroll 1s from the Master. That is a hit. Wounding on 5s. Not going to reroll 1s because you already killed my Lieutenant. So,
Oh.
oh boy, yes, that's pretty good. All right, so now my Tactical Marines are going to attack into the Hormagaunts over here. They are -1 to hit because of the horror. 7 attacks because I don't have access to Shock Assault since I wasn't charged or heroically intervened there. So only getting the 7 attacks on 3s. Rerolling 4s. I'm sorry. Rerolling 1s because of the Master. Wounding on 3s. Getting 2 wounds. But there's the Dancing Matthews that I've needed all along.
6-up armor save, baby.
You know. Oh boy. And now my Master is going to swing into the Genestealers over here. He's got 4 base attacks, +1 because of his Chainsword, +1 because of Shock Assault. Hitting on a 2. That's going to be all hits. Wounding on 4s.
Ooh.
There we go. I'll take that.
5-up invulnerable saves. How many did 2? 3 die.
Not bad.
I just want to point out that that is 19 less attacks now because they're 3 each, but then +1 because there was 10. So you lost that extra +1 and those 3 guys.
I'll take it.
The Hormagaunts had charge, but I'm not going to consolidate or pile in or consolidate because I am currently holding the objective and I don't want to leave it. Same goes for the Zoanthropes. I am currently holding 3 objectives. Number 3, number 1, and number 5. Nothing really interesting in the morale phase, as I just wiped out entire units, so there's no leadership test to be made as we go into Dark Angels turn 2.
Turn 2 movement phase for the Dark Angels. I really have to make up some ground now after that turn 2 phase for the Tyranids. So first things first, I fall back my tactical squad and spend 2 CP on Intractable. I roll because of my Warlord trait and get 1 back, leaving me at 4 CP. I then fall back with the Master as well. Now it's time for reinforcements to come in and try to save me. Inceptors drop in 9 inches away from his Genestealers, and my Reavers drop in 9 inches away from his Neurothrope, his Hormagaunts, and his Shrikes. I really need to kill some things this turn. If I don't, I'm in serious trouble. I might already be in serious trouble, but I really will be in serious trouble if I don't kill anything this turn. Start off the shooting phase with my Inceptors firing into his Genestealers. Assault Bolters hitting on 3s. Oof, no rerolling 1s.
Oh.
They moved. 7 hits on 18 shots on 3s. 3s to win.
Oh, Phil! Philip, Glacial Geek.
Listen, when you invited me here, you didn't say I had to roll well. You just said I had to roll dice. That was what was required, and that is what I've done.
You're right,
So,
I should add that to the
you
application.
need to add it. Yeah, you have to put that on that. If you want to come in, you got to roll well. Instead, I just hit the bare minimum. Lawyered.
5 up invulnerable saves. Dodge. Die. Well, I killed 2 of them. There's not many left, but still pretty sad. 5 left.
And now my Reavers over there are going to fire into your Hormagaunts over there with their heavy bolt pistols. Hitting on 3s. That's better. 3s to wound. Okay.
Minus 1 AP at least, so I don't get a save, so 3 die. Take it that one so that you're further away from your guys. We're trying to charge them.
So now, because I spent the 2 CP for Intractable, which allows a unit that fell back to shoot, my tactical squad is going to fire their shots into the Termagants. Hormagaunts. That's the one I meant.
Hormagaunts.
And the Melta is going to fire into the Carnifex. I didn't realize he's in range, but that's what I want to shoot at. Melta's going to be hitting on a 4 because they're -1 with the Horror. Okay, cool. 7 bolt shots between the rapid-firing bolters and the bolt pistol on the Sergeant, hitting on 4s again. Oh, okay.
Wow,
I'll take
okay.
that. I'll take that. Wound on 3s. Hey, I'll take that.
6 up save. Oh, got 1, so 4 die.
Thus doubling their kill count, I believe.
Yeah. Honestly, those tacticals have been your most efficient things.
It says a lot. And now my Intercessors, who stood still over here, are going to fire into the Genestealers. Hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s because of Grim Resolve. Okay. Strength 4, toughness 4, 4s to wound. Hey, there we go.
5 up invulnerables. 2 die. Well, these guys are weakened.
Pretty much as effective as my entire Inceptor squad that jumped in.
Yay!
Into the assault phase, my Reavers are now going to charge into your Shrikes.
Whoa, my only thing I can overwatch.
I know.
Overwatch! Ready for a whole lot of nothing?
Oh, yeah.
Death Spitters hitting on 6s. Whole lot of nothing. Venom Cannon, D3 shots. 2 shots just to make me think I might do something. 6s. Oh.
You were saying?
Oh.
Yeah. Those are the strength 8 ones, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you're okay with that, right?
Yeah, cool.
2s to wound. Oh, yeah, they both get through.
Looking for 5s to wound. 5s to save. Already wounded, 5s to save. See, that's what I get for calling it the wrong thing.
So this could kill 2 of them.
Yes.
Because they're D3 damage each, and you
D3.
got 2 wounds on each of your guys.
Yes.
Okay, alright.
So at least 1's dead. Possibly 2 are dead.
First one.
Okay. 1 dead.
Yeah, and the second one doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It just kills 1. Could have been much worse.
Yes. 9-inch charge to get in.
Oh, I
Okay.
see a 2. I have no idea what the other die is. Where is it?
It's right over here.
Where is it?
It's another 2.
Oh,
So I can't
so you
even
can't even reroll
Can't
one
even
of
if I
them.
wanted to.
Ah!
Even if I wanted to try.
Do you want to, Phil?
I really do, but I can't. Because
Well,
I
you
can't get
can technically spend
Technically, you're right. Technically, I'm allowed to spend the CP on any roll. I'm sad, not stupid.
So no morale phase, because my guys are within synapse. And then objective-wise, you're currently controlling objective number 6 right here. And objective number
4 right
4
there.
over here.
Yeah.
But I do have more objectives than you. So you
You
get
do.
2 points. And at the end of the battle round, I get an extra point.
Yes.
Score goes to 9-4 for the Tyranids. Into battle round 3, objective number 3 disappears. I feel like my Hormagaunts are eating them because that's number 2 disappeared right by my Hormagaunts, and then number 3 disappeared by my Hormagaunts. So maybe they're like giant salt licks. It's actually been quite handy because I don't want to leave any of my units. It's a 1,000-point game, so there's not a lot of units in play here. So starting off, we have my Zoanthrope and Neurothrope, which backed up. I want to take care of these Reavers, so they're coming back to help with that. And then my remaining squad of Hormagaunts that got shot down a lot, but there's still enough of them to be a bit of a threat. I know Reavers can shoot through them in close combat pretty quick, but I think with some help they'll be able to do that. And then the GENESTEALERS and the BROODLORD ran forward, or advanced forward, because they can charge even though they advance, to get deep into Phil's Dark Angel's lines to try to take on the Master, the Tactical Squad. And if we get enough of the charges off, we're going to go after those Intercessors as well. CARNIFEXES is going to join in on that party. I think between there's not very many GENESTEALERS, but the BROODLORD and CARNIFEXES can wreck it up pretty bad in there. The Shrikes realize that their baby Hormagaunts are going to try to charge a bunch of Reavers by themselves and thought maybe we should help. So they are backing up. They leave the objective number 1, but that's okay because I have the Hormagaunts now who have nothing to do. So they are going to advance onto objective number 1, keeping control of that. And lastly, we have a Carnifex that ate the Dreadnought, and he found that there wasn't a lot inside, and so he decides to go after the Inceptors to see if he can peel open that and see what's inside of those nuts. Hopefully they're more like cashews than the peanuts that you get in those mixed nuts bowls, but it is what it is. So here's hoping we see a lot of damage in my Psychic and Fight phase. I don't care about my shooting phase. Psychic phase, I got a lot of smites. We're going to start with my Zoanthropes. Needing 5. Oh boy! Yeah, boy! Yeah, boy! So, for those of you who don't know, Smite as a Psychic power does D3 mortal wounds, unless you roll 11 or higher, in which case it does D6 mortal wounds. Ha! Oh! Go! Pop, pop, pop goes the heads. Neurothrope will do same thing. Needs a 6 though, because we've already cast Smite. Reroll 1s. Oh, we've got a 2 and a 1. Oh boy. Okay, he failed. But we'll try Psychic Scream. Fun. Needs a 5. Well, okay, yep, we got it. D3 mortal wounds. Oh, goodness. Another one dies. Another one takes a wound. And then the Broodlord on this side is going to smite. It's about the same distance from the Master and the Tactical Squad, so I will choose the Tactical Squad. He needs a 7 to pull this off, but he gets +1 because of his artifact. Oh, still fails. He will then stare into the eyes of the Intercessors and try to horrify them. And, oh, I think he does with a 6. Yes. -1 leadership and hit rolls. Poor Reavers. I just want to put them out of their misery, so we're going to shoot at them with everything. We'll start with the Death Spitters because you have 1 wound left on the guy, and I'd like to take that off first. 4s to hit. 3s. Only 1.
4-up save with AP -1. Yeah, he makes it.
Venom Cannon. That should hopefully do some damage. D3 shots. Oh boy. 4s to hit. Oh, just 1. And a 2. All right.
5-up save. No, he did.
Doesn't matter. There's multiple damage. Got a guy with 1 wound left. Now in the charge phase, the Shrikes will declare charge into the Reavers.
Firing Overwatch, I'm going to start with a shot grenade, D3 shots. Getting 3 shots, hitting on 6s. Getting nothing. And 1 heavy bolt pistol. No, nothing.
Yes. Hormagaunts are going to need a 7-inch charge to get to the Reavers. They make it. Yep. Okay. 6-inch pylon's going to be useful here. My Carnifex is going to roar and charge towards the Inceptors.
Firing Overwatch here with their Assault Bolters, looking for 6s. Getting a couple hits. Looking for 5s to wound. Getting 1 wound.
-1 AP, so 4 up. Ah, he shrugs it off. It's an 8-inch charge, but I have Adrenal Glands, which gives me +1, so I need to roll 7 or higher. Well, that's just, yeah. We're just going to go straight past them. And as he goes past them, he's going to use his Living Battering Ram to try to do a mortal wound, which I really don't care about because, yeah, I did. But he does 4 damage per attack, so this doesn't even matter.
It's just rubbing salt into rubbing salt into the future wound.
Yeah. In this area here, the Carnifex will declare multi-charge into your Tacticals and into your Master.
So starting off Overwatch, we're going to go with the Melty Gun first. Looking for a 6. No hit there. 2 crack grenades between the Master and the Sergeant. 1 hit there. Looking for a 5 to wound. No, nothing there. And bolters. Rerolling 1s. Getting nothing.
Yes, charge.
He is in.
4+ will do a mortal wound. I'll target the tacticals. Yay!
Boom. Boom.
I'm gonna have the Genestealers charge, Intercessors, and everything else. I was considering the Broodlord, but he's down to 2 wounds, and that makes me uncomfortable. So Genestealers into everything.
6 is on Overwatch. Getting 1 hit, but no wound.
And then they'll charge 10 inches. I'm tempted to grab the objective because that's important, but I'm also tempted to like try to maximize how to do the most damage right now, which would mean them coming right here. So I'm gonna have them come right here now. The Broodlord will declare charge against everybody, and he will go 8 inches. Now I don't have a problem with him going to get the objective while staying within 6 inches of the Genestealers. Now into the fight phase. The choice is between the Broodlord and the Genestealers because I'm not worried about everything else. I'm going to start with the Broodlord to make sure you don't somehow get rid of those last 2 wounds. You know what? I changed my mind. I still have all 8 of my command points. Sorry, 7 of my command points. I spent 1 at the beginning of the game. So if he kills the Broodlord, I could actually spend some command points to have it fight. So let's be super efficient about this and have the Genestealers go. Yeah, we're going to have all 3 of them focus on the tactical squad. We're going to use the Scything Talons, just like last time. 2s to hit, re-rolling 1s. Oh, good choice, good choice. And they have all hit. Looking for 4s to wound. 6s won't help me because it's not the Renning Claws. Pretty good.
Looking for 5-ups. We're getting 3 of them. I'll take that.
Yeah. Keeping your Melta and Sergeant alive.
I'm going to interrupt with my Intercessors now. So 2 and 2 can go into 2 guys into his Genestealers, 2 into his Broodlord. The Sergeant and the guy into the Broodlord are going to fight. They are going to have 7 attacks because of Shock Assault. These are going to be hitting on 4s because of the Horror. Okay. 5s to wound. Getting 2 wounds, enough to kill him.
He's got a 4-up armor save, though, so the dice say not likely. But yes, anyways.
Ooh, take that!
So the Broodlord can now fight as if it were the fight phase, so obviously he will fight as if it were the fight phase. This does cost me 2 command points, by the way. It's called Death Frenzy for the Tyranids. A lot of different armies have a similar ability. Hitting you on 2s with my monstrous Renning Claws. He leaps in as you plunge your little knives into him. Wounds you on 3s. Oh, golly! Okay. So that's 2 dead. So these are -6. 3 damage each, so that's 2 dead Intercessors. And then we've got -3 D3 damage apiece. So your 6-up saves first. Yeah,
I'll
1.
make 1, but
Yeah, you might survive. D3. Okay, so that's 1 dead.
Yep.
And does the other one survive? No.
No, he did.
Now, technically, these 2 guys still get to fight. Because even though that fight happens immediately, all the attacks were declared, and you still get to fight with them all. So 2 into the Genestealers.
6 attacks because of Shock Assault, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s because of the Master.
Actually, hitting on 4s.
Oh, hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s because of the Master. 4s to wound. Getting 1 wound.
He's going to try to leap out of the way. 5-up. And he does.
Oh, yeah. Dancing.
The Broodlord does disappear after he made those attacks. Now that Carnifex roars, leaps back on its legs, and plunges all 4 monster Scything Talons into your Master. 6 attacks. Hitting on 3s because he charged. Rerolling 1s. Ooh. Wounding on 3s. Well, we got all 3 of them.
4-up Iron Halo saves.
Doom.
Yeah, he did. That is
8 damage.
has 8 damage and a dead Warlord.
Crunch and consolidate. Carnifex into the aggressors.
They may be aggressive, but they're not aggressors.
Sorry, Inceptors. Inceptors. 3s to hit. Yeah, because he charged.
Yeah, he charged.
Reroll 1s. Oh boy. Ooh. 3s to kill. These are -4 AP, 4 damage apiece. 3s. You know what? I got lots of command points, so I just might as well spend it. Yep, 3 dead. Yeah. My Shrinks now outnumber your Reavers, so they get an extra AP for the pack tactics, plus the AP for Scything Talons. Yay. 9 attacks, the Scything Talons hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. 4s to wound. Yeah.
AP -2 because of all his funky things with those Scything Talons, so looking for 5s to wound. 5s to save. Oh, that's why I said wounds, and now that's... is there a wound on a guy there?
Nope.
Oh, so I made just enough to save 1 guy alive.
And then the HORMAGAUNTS piled 6 inches.
Oh, yeah, them. Forgot about them.
There's a bunch of them. 16 attacks, hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s. Yeah, that's a few more. 5s to wound, but -2 AP. Only 2.
And now it's minus 2 AP, so 5 up saves. Oh, no, he did. Oh, just dead, but did.
Yeah. The last 2 guys alive, the tacticals.
Revenge! 6 attacks because of shock assault into the Genestealers, 3s to hit. Ooh, okay. To their dying breath, they do not want to be statistical. Wounding on 4s. Oh, hey, see? Still not statistical. Just in my benefit this time.
Dodge. Excuse me. 5 up dodgeroo. Oh, I dodged 1. Oh, yeah.
Take that.
What do you think, Phil?
Well, considering I have 2 tactical marines still on the table at the end of your fight phase, and there's a giant...
Oh, wait.
Carnifex there.
I'll spend 3 command points,
Okay.
and the Carnifex will fight again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what you're going to do. Okay.
Still counts as charging.
Yep.
So 3s to hit, rerolling 1s. And 3s to wound.
Yeah. Oh, they did.
You get 2 of them dead.
So there you go. That's all it takes.
Okay, so they're gone.
Yeah.
So let's just think about this for a second.
All right. I'm not going to give up. It says in the rules that sudden death rule is not in effect, so we're just going to keep going.
I like
just
how this
because
went
of
from
that.
I'm going to concede
Yeah.
to screw you.
So screw you. I'm going to keep going.
Well, I get a point, and
Yeah.
another point, and another point, and then we have your turn,
Yes.
where I get another point.
Yes.
And then objective 4 disappears. Go ahead.
Yep, 4's
Battle round
gone.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will move over. Okay. I get a point. I get a
Yeah.
point. I get a point.
Point.
Okay. Then on the end of your turn, I get a point.
And 5
disappears. And I get a point. I get a point. At the end of your turn, I get a point. 3
Yeah.
plus, we go to the turn 6. No, we don't! They gave us all our turn 5. But Phil did not
I did not
concede.
Let the record book show I did not concede. I just lost horribly.
So I hope you enjoyed that battle report. Obviously, at the end there, the Tyranids had a pretty solid victory.
Yes.
However, as I back up and look at it, it's always interesting to try to find those pivot points where things went wrong. And I know in some games there is no one pivot point. There's just like this is just a bad matchup. And there might have been a little bit of that. Dark Angels being a little old.
Yeah.
Tyranids having some new tricks.
Yes.
That all those Silent Talons being so many much higher.
That made a big difference.
It really
It
did.
really did.
It really did. And it just that's
'Cause, I mean, bumping from AP 0 to AP 2 makes a big difference.
huge.
Yeah.
And I even
That's
know-
almost like a power sword. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is, I was telling Phil that while I was playing the game, I noticed another stratagem. I think it was called aggressive adaptation. That when one of my Tyranid units kills another unit, I can spend 1 command point and give them +1 AP on all their melee weapons for the rest of the game. So when those Genestealers killed those Intercessors, they could have all of a sudden been an extra AP.
Yeah.
And wasn't necessary in this game, but just looking at that, I'm like, oh wow, the Blood of Baal really is giving the Tyranids some really nice new stuff.
Yeah.
Which, of course,
Yeah, the ability to hang.
our
That's
poor Dark Angel players, Games Workshop, they're just
They're
waiting.
coming. They're coming.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
coming.
yeah. Just keep saying that.
Coming. I am. I'm going to. I'm going to keep saying that to the day I die. That I'm going to be waiting for the lion to come and awaken.
One day.
One day.
So
the lion sleeps tonight, but not tomorrow night.
Away.
Away.
goodness.
Anyway. Sorry.
So the big pivot point for me, however, was your first turn of shooting.
Yeah.
You rolled below average.
Yes.
Firing, because you had the exact thing, which is perfect counter to a blob of Genestealers, which is just a lot of strength 4 shooting.
Lots of shots. Yeah.
You had Intercessors, 2 units of Intercessors. You disembarked your Tacticals, who got
Yep.
mostly in rapid fire
Yeah.
range. You even had the Razorbacks twin assault cannons. Yeah, I put the horror on them, but I could have stayed still
yeah.
and been hitting better. And all of that, you killed 5 Genestealers.
Yes.
A combination of your poor rolling, and I actually rolled out of my first 4 invulns.
Yeah.
I passed 3 5-ups.
Yeah. That's
Or no,
impressive.
it was 3 out of 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you look at that, it's interesting because Genestealers get an extra attack when there's at least 10 of them, and he got them down to exactly 10.
Yeah.
So if you do the math, they're 3 base attacks plus 1 each. If you kill 1 more, you drop 13 attacks from that because you drop the extra 1 attack plus the 3 of that Genestealer.
Yeah.
So you would have gone from 40 attacks to 27. And they barely just kill the Intercessors that they then charge. So
Yes.
if just one more. But statistically, you could have easily killed 3 or 4 more, which is like 20-something attacks less. And because Intercessors are good at fighting Genestealers in close combat.
Exactly.
Because they're just toughness 4,
Especially
5,
now with shock assault, they got the extra attack.
3 attacks,
Yeah.
basically. Like, that's really good. And so having that happen where you couldn't bring them below 10, that to me, yeah, the Carnifex came in and killed your Razorback, but you put it out front.
Yeah.
So that was kind of going to happen.
Yeah.
The Dreadnought, I think we could talk. I don't know. Do you regret sticking your Dreadnought out by itself?
I don't. Because I feel if my shots had gone better and I was able to make room for him to make the charge onto your Carnifex on my first turn, I felt like I had the opportunity to kill him. And even if I'm locked in with your Hormagaunts there on the objective, I felt like I could keep killing and holding on there. I didn't think that you could really take me out with just the Hormagaunts.
The Hormagaunts would have a hard time. The nice
Yeah.
thing is they would be -2 AP because they
Yeah,
outnumber you
because
and
of
they have
that.
siding talons, but they're only wounding you on 6s.
Exactly.
So, but everyone that gets through that.
It's true. And I have a bunch of more attacks now than they used to have with, shock assault at first. And I don't know. I felt like I felt like it was the right call to try to jump on that objective. I knew if I had put any more support on that side, you would have been able to pull more support towards it, and I would have had less of a chance. I knew that his only real chance was to be out there on his own without much support, and then hope that everyone else could hold the line to keep you from getting back into my other objectives. So.
Yeah, it feels like the reserves, if they could show up turn 1, you would have been actually pretty solid.
Yeah.
Even with the bad shooting.
Maybe.
Because they came in and did pretty good damage.
The Inceptors kind of failed. They didn't do a whole lot to your,
that's true.
to
They
your
only killed like
GENESTEALERS.
2 GENESTEALERS.
Yeah, and then I think I killed a few Hormagaunts with my Reavers and then failed the charge. So.
But they would have been there at the same time as
It's
them
true,
charging
and you would
everything
have had
else.
to pull things back. Yeah,
Exactly.
it could have changed things a bit.
Yeah.
I think if I had made the charges that I tried, which I think I failed pretty much every charge that I tried, I would have probably done a bit better because that would have meant that my Venerable Dreadnought would have been up on the objective, which would have, at the very least, kept you further back because you were able to move further up towards me, which then meant that after you killed him, you were able to move and get within range of my Inceptors.
Yeah.
So if you're further back, you wouldn't have made it to my Inceptors, and I would have been better off because of that, or if he had managed to survive and taken him out there. So, and I think you choosing to go with the Broodlord with the Carnifex first turn, so I couldn't interrupt to kill the Carnifex, was the right call because as much as my Librarian could have killed you, the odds were far better that my Dreadnought was going to kill your Carnifex.
Well, and I knew also that if you did kill me with the Broodlord, I had the Death Frenzy, so I still would have that last ditch
try to
effort
take him back
take
down,
him out
yeah.
anyways. So it would have still sucked to lose the Broodlord that early,
Yeah.
especially because he was the Synapse for
Yeah,
that
that whole flank.
Yeah, because I had the 3 groups of Synapse, right? That crazy. It's funny because like the Reavers, you look at them get exploded by that crazy smite. It's like, yeah, that was crazy, but I don't know if how much of a difference there would have been there.
You did what, 9 mortal wounds?
Yeah.
9 mortal
Yeah,
wounds?
6 and 3.
Yeah.
And failed the smite.
That is 4.5 Reavers that you killed in just the psychic phase.
Exactly. So unfortunately that made it snowball. And like I said, because that's a pivot point, I like to call them, because there's this spot, like, because that happened, you see, like, if you're looking at a graph of how well you're doing, it's like, it all goes down. Whereas if you just had rolled more average and I had rolled average, it might have kind of continued
Maybe
to be
plateaued
more
as opposed to
interesting.
gone off a cliff.
Exactly. But either way, I hope that you enjoyed our new style of battle report. We still have a lot of polishing to do, a lot of things that we want to do differently to help make these battle reports more exciting, but still keep the fun flavor that they've always had. So we'd love your feedback to let us know what you think. And of course, this is Phil from the Glacial Geek. We'll have his link in the stuff in the description, but go check out his YouTube channel as well. Tell us what you think. Stay tuned for more battle reports. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and happy working.